And here we go.
What is up, everyone? My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and welcome back for another review of Season 7 of The Walking Dead. Today we are breaking down this week's episode, number 14, entitled The Other Side. This week's episode of The Walking Dead is a very mundane, nothing episode, masquerading as a profound and touching episode because of great character interaction, flawless performances, and some lingering storylines being rounded out. But I'm not taking the bait. The Walking Dead this season is a shell of itself, and it's not that this episode was bad. In fact, it's better than most episodes have been in the second half of this season. The issue is, as I have stated many times this season, the method in which this story is being told is ridiculous. And as I predicted in the mid-season finale review, we wouldn't get all-out war with Negan until the finale, which will inevitably end with some kind of pointless cliffhanger. There's at least 3 dreadful episodes in which nothing has happened that could have been condensed or excised altogether in order to make the last couple of episodes of the season more unpredictable. As it stands now, we as viewers could just tune in for the finales and premieres and we would get the meat of the story in just 4 episodes. This is an overarching season problem and not necessarily an episode problem, but it's dragging down the season overall and all of the goodwill that has been previously cached by the series. Judging this episode in a vacuum, it was very well executed and a generally entertaining episode. And now that I've gotten out of the way what absolutely bugs the shit out of me about this season's major woes, let's do that and discuss and judge the other side on its own merits. This episode was saved from being a total slog and complete waste by just a few scenes. The majority of the episode revolved around the hilltop and the Savior's unexpected arrival. Maggie and Jesus got to have a nice interaction where he reveals that he is in fact gay like his comic book counterpart. And the thing I took away most from this had nothing to do with the fine performances by Lauren Cohan and Tom Payne in this scene, but the reaction on social media that this was a talking point at all. Jesus is not the first gay character that has appeared on the show, and it shouldn't be a big deal at this point, both in regards to the show or in general. To me, it should be as much of a non-issue as the controversy surrounding Beauty and the Beast toting a gay character. It's ridiculous that it's even a talking point. As I said before, it was a good small and revealing scene between 2 great characters. That's it. Negan's right-hand man Simon, played by Stephen Ogg, shows up and makes this entire segment work by entertaining the dicks out of me, and his interaction with Xander Berkeley's wonderfully slimy Gregory was the highlight of the episode for me. The episode focused on the Saviors at the hilltop for a bit too long, but it's a testament to these 2 actors that 2 very unsavory characters have got me hook, line, and sinker and smiling my way through their entire time on screen. This also does lead to a much anticipated heart-to-heart between Daryl and Maggie when they are forced to hide from a searching Savior. Daryl's teary-eyed breakdown to Maggie of his guilt over Glenn's death had me choking up a bit, I won't lie to you. And Maggie's reply that she doesn't blame him and that he is one of the good things in this world only amplified that sentiment. They were pitch perfect in this scene, and I was happy to see them finally discuss it and get it out of the way. The latter portion of this episode is mostly comprised of Rosita and Sasha making their way to the sanctuary to take out Negan. Rosita, who has been steadfast in her position that she is ready to die and increasingly annoying because of her less than brilliant and hasty decision making and general demeanor, finally gets to drop her lame facade and actually feel a little something. Sonequa Martin Green carries this scene with her vulnerable performance, and Christian Serratos returns this in kind in a great heart-to-heart. Let's air out all the tension, get rid of all the bullshit before we make this ultimate sacrifice moment, and it was really effective and really did give me some of them feels again. The climax with Eugene continuing to be the cowardly shit that he is by not going with the girls when they offered to rescue him, and Sasha sacrificing herself because she feels Rosita is worth so much more alive, was a great touch to end the episode on. Sasha feels like she has finally found her footing on the show after floundering for a while in previous seasons, and it's just a real shame that it appears that she is rapidly approaching her end on the show. Rosita makes a break for it out of the compound and happens upon a crossbow-wielding figure cloaked in darkness, and though it's meant to have some ambiguity, this is clearly Dwight, and will most likely be leading to Dwight's defection from the Saviors and his eventual offer to assist Rick and Co. In the end, this was a fine episode when analyzing it on its own. It's just infuriating to think that so little has actually happened during the course of 14 hours worth of TV at this point. I expect so much more from you, Walking Dead, and I hold you in such high regard. I hope their showrunners learn their lesson from this season, because if they continue down the path they are headed, they're going to end up losing some very loyal fans, and it could lead to much darker days ahead for the show. If I were going to score this week's episode of The Walking Dead, I would give it a 7 out of 10. The episode itself was solid and had some very, very strong character moments, and does finally give us a sense of propelling the story forward to its eventual conclusion. Next week we should see how our group deals with getting guns from the ocean side, and the fallout from Sasha's attack on the sanctuary. So let's see how that goes. It could be very intriguing, or we could be just devolving into the doldrums we've been in. Tell us what you thought of this week's episode of The Walking Dead and the development of the season as a whole in the comments below. I'm very interested to see where people are on The Walking Dead as it is right now. If you enjoyed this review, go ahead and be a real bro and smash that like button like it's Eugene's ungrateful mullet-topped head. And if you would like to see more reviews and all of the other awesome things we are doing right here on the channel, you can click right here and subscribe. My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and as always, my friends, have yourselves a super week.